Hey, it's Josephine from the Pointe shop. I'm at Ballet West Academy and I'm fitting Maggie today. And we're gonna be looking at toes that are a little bit longer and a little more tapered. So if you have longer tapered toes, then this is the video for you. One of the first things that I notice about Maggie is that she's pretty shallow. She doesn't have a lot of fat on the top of her feet. Can you Tonduelis account for me? And another thing that I'm noticing is that when she's flat on the floor, there's a lot of spaces between her toes. So what happens then is that if you put your foot inside of the pointe shoe, it squishes into this tapered foot. So there's a lot of, it'll just squish in, and a lot of times she can sink into the pointe shoe and jam her toes onto the floor. So it's important to keep your her feet inside something that's more tapered, so it kind of bottlenecks the foot from going all the way down to the floor, because that could be very painful.
Yeah.
Come to your right foot for me. Gorgeous feet. Okay, first position and parallel. So another thing that I notice is that one of her feet are longer than the other. So if you don't wear two different sizes, a lot of times what would happen is that the bigger foot will be squished inside the shoe, and it could give you a little bit of tendinitis on your heel because the shoe can cut into the ankle portion of your foot. So you want to be very careful. Maggie is unfortunately not a whole half a size difference. She's about a quarter size difference between her left and her right. So even if we did two different sizes, we would have to pad the smaller one to make them both fit. But we're going to work with one size today. Go ahead and have a seat.
Okay.
So we're working with Freeds today at Ballet West, and the maker that I selected for Maggie is a little bit more tapered, and it has a smaller platform. So for Maggie, you have to be able to balance really well. But I think she's already used to that because she was in Grishko's before, and that has a pretty small platform.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and put your toe pads on, and we're going to check out the Freed. Of course, these die pretty quickly compared to other pointe shoes, but what I like about them is that a lot of dancers can roll through these.
Yeah.
So they die fast, but they're really pretty and they're a little quieter, so I love working with these. Yeah. Okay, go ahead and put those on. So her big toe's a lot longer than the rest of her foot, so we want to make sure that her big toe isn't jamming at the end of the shoe. Okay. And the toe pad that she's wearing right now is just a very standard Ouch Pouch Junior. That's what I usually start out with, and then usually you probably like yours broken in, so it's really thin towards the end. Yeah, so the thinner it becomes, the closer your foot is to the shoe, and the more articulate your feet will look. Stand up for me. So these are pretty tapered, but these are not twisting. A lot of times when your shoes are too tapered, they will start to twist off your heel, but because she has a lot of taper in her toes anyway, so these look pretty good. Step up onto pointe. So these are a brand new pair of pointe shoes, but they look awesome. They look gorgeous. So I am hearing the crackling sound of the glue, which I love that sound.
Oh yeah.
It's so satisfying.
It is. Yeah.
So she's nice and up onto her pointe shoes. She's not sinking down. With tapered, shallow, long toes is to make sure that the shoes are tapered enough so she's not sinking into the floor, because she's probably on your toes. You're probably on your toes, what, 3 hours a day?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, at least 3 hours a day. So that's going to hurt a lot by the end if I don't taper the shoe enough. Can you go into parallel for me? And I'm also keeping the vamp quite long so that all of her toes are inside the shoe instead of her like rolling over. So if you have really long toes, make sure that the vamp is long enough so that your foot stays inside the shoe. You're not sticking out onto the sides or anything. The wings should be long as well. And make sure that your heel is not twisting off either. So these are beautiful on you.
Oh, thank you.
Probably will not last very long.
They feel great.
Yeah, but they're gorgeous. So watch out for that Achilles tendinitis if you have two different size feet, and make sure that everything looks nice and neat inside your pointe shoes. Thank you so much. Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you.